Peace and greetings, family. This is the Original Titan, and we're going to talk about thoughts and how it works in cosmic electricity. Thank you for coming to here. I'm not going to make this video too long, but what I want to say is please don't forget to hit the like button. These videos are not about the third dimension. They're actually about reaching out into your multidimensional selves. Now, speaking of thoughts, we know from the last video that thoughts are antimatter because we can't see them unless somebody puts them into motion by speaking them or talking about them or even writing about it. But we form cosmic thoughts with mentation waves that operate at the inner core of the ninth time dimension and radiate out to our mental spheres as needed for a given situation. Now, we learned that on the last video. Keep in mind that cosmic thoughts are not the run-of-the-mill mundane thoughts in the third dimension. The creators have given us everything we need to experience whatever we will within divine will. And we don't have to remain in a subjective state by anyone, anything, or any system that is deemed to be evil. Now, Jose Agrella stated that, and I quote, "Virtual reality shows that we are starved for release into a parallel world, an imaginal realm that is not just a rejection of our worst nightmares, but of our highest, most sublime aspirations," unquote. The danger that we're presented with is our being captured into an ever-growing artificial system that will eventually dictate every area of our lives and make us believe that that's reality. For example, we're being pushed and we're being egged on and we're being enticed toward getting banking apps, grocery store apps, security apps, social media, credit card, crypto, music, and medical care apps. Guess what? Welcome to the metaverse. Now the question becomes, how can we go in and out of this artificial matrix without damaging our brains that control our major organs, our chakra systems, our health in general, our spiritual growth, our thoughts? Studying the law of time will make the distinction between the artificial time and natural time. Now, Volume Voltan also stated, and I'm paraphrasing, that the more we grow or advance technologically, the more we regress in spirituality. I tend to agree. According to cosmic science, when two electrical lines of force have the same polarity but different frequencies and they unite to form a single line of electricity, now that's called a soul curve of resonance or conversion by attraction. So let's put it into 3D so we can understand this. Let's just say two men that represent the same polarity, but they differ in frequency, meaning that one is less of a go-getter than the other one. But when they come together, the less active one becomes more aggressive because the one who is more aggressive lends some of this energy to the one that's less aggressive, so that the frequency becomes balanced. And that's also called conversion by attraction. Now, these two lines of force form two different kinds of electromagnetism: positive magnetic, which is calm, and negative static, which is lacking in motion, but it's chemio. So calm is dynamic, and chemio is not only static, but it's also stabilizing. There are also two types of lines of force. We have odd lines and even lines. We're talking about numbers when we go into odd and even, because number is relative to proportion. They refer to the index of potency, which are marked with double progressions. Now, the index of potency in electricity is referring to the degree to which voltage, frequency, waveforms, all of the things that we talk about to get into higher dimensions, we want to see how well it conforms to established specifications. Now, the index of potency of different lines of force join to create other electromagnetic effects. Why is that important? Because each of these partons is what gives all manifestation their qualities of appearance and material effects. That's going to be important to us because when we begin to put into place with our thoughts, with our energy, with our mind, will, and spirit, then we want to manifest certain qualities of appearance to our specifications when we get ready to go into parallel existences. Now when we look at the 12 lines of force of positive and also of negative, we can see the different partons. We see the electrons, the neutrons, we see plus and minus signs, we see the greater than signs, we see math, we see number, and the progressions. This is just a basic introduction to cosmic electricity and our thoughts. In the next video, we're going to talk about mind, will, and spirit, and how that's going to operate in cosmic electricity. Can 217, the red solar earth, with the power of navigation, action to evolve, and essence of synchronicity. We're going to look at the solar tone, which has the power to pulse, action to realize, and the essence of intention. And we want to keep these powers, actions, and essences in mind as we begin to explore thought with the matrices. And we begin with time, V19, H20. And we find it here in the fourth time dimension, third mental sphere. It's located on the sixth magnitude of the fifth force. That's the green area, the superconscious, meaning the weak force, the strong force, electromagnetic force, the gravitational force, and the biopsychic force all come together to solidify something in waking conscious mediumship, beta, higher mind. When we talk about the magnitude of 6, we know that it goes from 1 to 13 in the superconscious in these green areas. Tone 6 is the rhythmic tone. And when we look at the essence of the rhythmic tone, it is equality. So we're talking equality. We're talking having our thoughts balanced and organized in waking conscious mediumship and our moment-to-moment thinking. Now is the time for us to begin to elevate galactically our thoughts. We have to realize the thoughts. We have to have an intention here, in order for us to evolve into higher dimensions, into parallel existences. Space, V15, H19, and that happens to be located in the same area, in the fourth time dimension, third mental sphere. And we're talking space, which is infinitely locatable point. Here, space is found on the second magnitude of the sixth dimensional ESP circuit that supplements subliminal communication in beta. All right, so when we're in the pink area, now we're not going to look at the magnitude number 2 as a tone because there are only 11 magnitudes. So instead we're going to look at how much or how intense is our space in extrasensory perception, the sixth dimension. Waking conscious mediumship sublimates or changes something in the third mental sphere. Okay, it could be our mind being changed from some type of download that we received without touch, taste, smell, sound, and vision. We may have got an inkling. We can't explain it. It's something that's happened. It's something we trust and we know it. We just know it. We got goosebumps. That's it. Now we're talking about thoughts. How is that? How are our thoughts operating in that space with this extrasensory perception download? Only you can answer that one. But hopefully it will help you to navigate to the space that you desire to be in parallel existences. You fill in the blank, because in this area of the fourth time dimension, where all of our thoughts and ideas and desires and wishes and all of that stuff is, come up with the thought so that you can hold it when it gets to continuing consciousness. Synchronicity, V15, H18. And again, we find that we are still yet in waking conscious mediumship, cosmic Q. We know synchronicity is the operation of a higher moving template of mathematical order that's going to coordinate all phenomena telepathically, because there are no coincidences. Everything unfolds as it should. Synchronicity happens to be on the third magnitude of the sixth dimensional ESP again. It is supplementing subliminal communication. The number 3 is not a lot out of 11. However, ESP is creating changes. Okay, changes to your so-called reality to a greater reality. It is still noticeable if we're paying attention, to our thoughts, to our downloads that we're receiving. Because extrasensory perception comes in to give us an inkling of, or a taste of, a better, greater reality. So we can know what to wish for and where to go. Boom, you got it. You saw it. You felt it. And now you want to go. And it's possible with cosmic electricity. In other words, thoughts in the fourth time dimension, third mental sphere, are cosmically dynamic, galactically creative, and high dimension frequency. I think this is a phenomenon in and of itself for all three matrices to be in the same location of waking conscious mediumship and cosmic cube. Peace to the God.